Hi there, my name is Christina and welcome back to another episode of You Should Read This. As always, I do have an oldie, a newbie, and an audiobook pick for you, but this month there is a twist. Since June is Pride Month, I decided to give a recommendation for the LGBTQIA of the Pride umbrella. Now, please note there are multiple types of queer rep in each book. Some folks don't identify under labels, and that is okay. I chose to focus on the main characters of each of these, the ones who tell their story, since we do have teens in our community who have come in asking for specific parts of this umbrella. I apologize in advance if I didn't provide a title for a letter you wanted to see represented. You can always search the OCLN catalog for more Pride picks. The first recommendation up today is our L. For this, I am going with You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, and for this, I recommend the audiobook. Liz Leidy has always believed she's too black, too poor, too awkward to shine in her small, rich, prom-obsessed Midwestern town. But it's okay. Liz has a plan that will get her out of Campbell, Indiana, forever. Attend the uber-elite Pennington College, play in their world-famous orchestra, and become a doctor. But when the financial aid she's counting on unexpectedly falls through, Liz's plans come crashing down, until she is reminded of her school scholarship for prom king and queen. There's nothing Liz wants less than to endure the gauntlet of social media trolls, catty competitors, and humiliating public events. But despite her devastating fear of the spotlight, she's willing to do whatever it takes to get to Pennington. The only thing that makes it halfway bearable is the new girl in school, Mac. She's smart and funny and just as much of an outsider as Liz. But Mac is also running for queen. Will falling for the competition keep Liz from her dreams or making them come true? Why, you should read it. This book is perfect for anyone who has had to think about college recently or has felt the drama over prom. Is the premise of a prom-obsessed reality TV-style competition a little far-fetched? Yes. Does it make for a totally interesting and compelling story? Yes. Also, Liz is a cool main character and the world around her feels very real. She's also someone that you're going to find yourself rooting for. For G, I am going to recommend The Extraordinaries by T.J. Klune. This would be our oldie pick. What it's about, in a city where superheroes exist, but you're not the superhero. You're just a guy who's extra and lives his life while crushing on Shadow Star. Nick Bell is not extraordinary, but he is extra, and he likes to think that he has the most popular fan fiction in the Extraordinaries fandom. Which is a superpower, right? His fanfic focuses on a fictional version of himself, almost always falling in love with Shadowstar and definitely getting kidnapped, damsel in distress style, by Pyrostorm. After a chance encounter with Shadowstar and Nova City's mightiest hero, and Nick's biggest crush, Nick sets out to make himself extraordinary. And he'll do it with or without the reluctant help of Seth Grey and his other friends, and he might be also in love with Seth. Why you should read it. At the heart of Extraordinaries is a queer coming-of-age story about a fanboy with ADHD and the heroes he loves most. This book is kind of like Rainbow Rowell's Fangirl meets Marissa Meyer's Renegades, and will definitely please those who have read his House in the Cerulean Sea. For B, we are going with Some Girls Do by Jennifer Dugan, and this is a newbie pick. What it's about, Morgan, an elite track athlete, is forced to transfer high schools late in her senior year after it turns out being queer is against her private Catholic school's code of conduct. There, she meets Ruby, who has two hobbies: tinkering with her baby blue 1970 Ford Torino and competing in local beauty pageants. The two are drawn together and can't deny growing feelings. But while Morgan, out and proud and determined to have a fresh start, doesn't want to keep their budding relationship a secret, Ruby isn't ready to come out yet. With each girl on a different path towards living her truth, can they go the distance together? Why you should read it. It's at times real and other times raw, and Morgan and Ruby feel like real friends going through real high school issues. It's hard not to root for them, both together and as people. For tea, I am going to recommend Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. This would be considered a newbie pick. Felix Love has never been in love, and yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone but him to find someone. What's worse is that even though he is proud of his identity, Felix also secretly fears that he's one marginalization too many, Black, queer, and transgender, to ever get his own happily ever after. When an anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he's transitioned, Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. What he didn't count on, his catfish scenario landing him in a quasi-love triangle. But as he navigates his complicated feelings, Felix begins a journey of questioning and self-discovery that helps redefine his most important relationship, how he feels about himself. Why you should read it. This story is full of heart and self-discovery, and it's honest and at many points relatable. It's definitely a good book to pick up for the summertime. For Q, I'm going to recommend Once and Future by A.R. Capetta and Corey McCarthy. What it's about: when Ari crash lands on Earth and pulls a magic sword from its ancient resting place, she is revealed to be the newest reanimation of King Arthur. Then she meets Merlin, who has aged backward over the centuries into a teenager, and together they must break the curse that keeps Arthur coming back. Their quest? Defeat the cruel, oppressive government and bring peace and equality to all humankind. No pressure. Why you should read it. With quick, lovable characters, this story catches you with humor in the beginning and keeps you with its Arthurian space and world building. For I am going to recommend None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio. This would be considered an oldie pick. When Kristen is voted homecoming queen, it seems like another piece of her ideal life has fallen into place. She's a champion hurdler with a full scholarship to college, and she's madly in love with her boyfriend. In fact, she's decided she's ready to take things to the next level with him. But Kristen's first time isn't the perfect moment she planned. Something is very wrong. A visit to the doctor reveals the truth. Kristen is intersex, which means that though she outwardly looks like a girl, she has male chromosomes, not to mention boy parts. Dealing with her body is difficult enough, but when her diagnosis is leaked to the whole school, Kristen's entire identity is thrown into question. As her world unravels, can she come to terms with her new self? Why you should read it. This book is about learning to understand, accept, and love yourself, as well as an exploration of finding yourself while everyone else is finding themselves too. High school can be hard times. And last but not least, the A recommendation. For this, I'm going to recommend Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. This is also considered an oldie pick. What it's about: Alice Johnson, 19, is out and open about being bi. She isn't out as asexual, though. And when she comes out to her girlfriend breaks up with her, leaving her thinking that love is not for her. Working at her local library for the summer, she meets the cute Takumi, and he leaves flustered and questioning. Alice's parents are also pressuring her to go into pre-law in college, and Alice seeks therapy to help sort out her feelings. Why you should read it. An exploration of identity and love. This is an asexual romance with all of the feels, and we also see someone who is seeking therapeutical help, which can be good to see for a teenager who might not have seen that before. Thank you for watching this month's episode of You Should Read This. I hope you stayed with us for the slightly longer than usual time. Usually I try to give you 3 recommendations in 5 minutes or less. I'll be back next month for July with some summer scares. See you next time.